Hey guys, today we've got the 15 F150 here, and what we're going to do is we're going to install a Gen 2 version of our light. Now, we've added one extra feature to this, and we're pretty excited about this around here. But just to go over the light, we have our LED marker light here, we have our plank styling here, we also have our low beam and high beam, and right here in the center is the turn signal, as well as the reflector down here. Now, everything looks the same, but like I said, we did add an extra feature. And what that is the switchback feature, which means the planks, when you activate your turn signals, will now turn to amber, like this. So as you can see, all the white plank, top and bottom, went to amber. And we've integrated this into the whole light, and it's just a 2-wire hookup to your turn signals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to install this light and have it working properly on your truck. Tools needed for this are a 1/4-inch ratchet, a 7/32 socket, a 3/8 ratchet, a 3/8 extension, a pair of Scotch locks, a 10mm, a panel popper, and a pair of pliers. Okay, so to get started, we'll need to obviously pop our hood. And in order to remove the headlight from the vehicle, we need to pull off this surround. So what your 7/32 socket was for is, if you look at right here, I have 2 small screws. And if you have the OEM fender trim, you'll need to remove these 2 screws to be able to pull the fender trim out so we can remove this piece on the vehicle. So after you've done that, obviously I have mine removed because we have full fender flares on ours. So I just removed that for ease of installation. So in order to remove this piece, after you've removed your trim, what you're going to do is you take your panel popper and pop up this push tab right here in the corner. This is the only push tab that you need to remove. And it just comes up just like that. So what you want to do is you want to set that off to the side. Next, what we'll do is, if you just grab right here and you want to just pull outwards. So there's plastic clips in the back of here. It'll unsnap fairly easily, but you just want to gently go around the whole thing until it comes out. Right here it gets a little difficult, but it will come out if you're gentle with it. And just go ahead and set this off to the side. Okay, so now that we've got the trim removed, you'll see that there is a bolt here. There's also 3 along here. Now there's an extra 2 bolts in here if you haven't modified anything, but obviously this truck is modified, and I don't have these 2 bolts here anymore. But I do have the 2 that bolt to the bottom of the light, as well as the one that bolts to the core support, and the one that bolts to the fender right here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and remove those. Set your bolts off to the side. Okay, so now what we have is we have this, and it's fairly loose, but there's a clip right here. And if you reach in from the back side, you can release it by pushing down the top and bottom tabs right here. To remove your lights from the vehicle, you can get them out without removing this, but it's a lot easier if you just remove this piece. Okay, so we've removed the bottom trim, and now all we have to do is remove the headlight. This is very easy now. We have 3 10mm screws. You have 2 on the top here, and then 1 directly underneath this tab, straight back. So that's the need for the long extension. If you go straight in, you can hit it and pull it out. You want to try and reach in here and not lose the bolt. That's your bolt that's directly straight back right here. Well, let's go to the top 2. Okay, so once you've got your 3 bolts removed, remember there's 1 on the side, 2 up top. You just want to grab the bottom of the light and give it a good wiggle, and it'll come out. So now, on the back side, you have some harnesses to disconnect. So you just push in on the tabs, and they slide right off. This turn signal one sometimes can be a little difficult, but if you're careful, you can get your finger in here without breaking it, and then slide it right off. And the last one is up here in the corner, right here. That's for your 194 running lights. So go ahead and set this off to the side, and let's take a look at getting the new light installed. Okay, so with your new light, in order to hook up the switchbacks to your turn signal, you'll need your turn signal connector, and then these two wires. They are labeled. Blue is power, brown is ground. And what I'm going to use are some Scotch locks. So, okay, to attach these with the Scotch lock, what you'll do is you'll just slide this in over here. Take your brown wire, which is your ground, slide this in on this edge. Let me actually twist this a little bit better. That way it grips in pretty good. Take this, slide it in here. Typically what I like to do is push down on this with my finger a little bit, that way it holds it. And then you take your pliers and push down. So on this particular one, that seats pretty good in the center to make it flush. And then what you do is you take this, fold it in like that, and then fold it over. This is just one style of Scotch lock. This one's made by 3M. There's, quite a few different ones out there. Now, for your power wire, you're going to use your outer wire. So you have 3 wires in the socket. This one is your ground. This center one is your parking light. And this outer one is your turn signal wire. So that's the one you want to do. So take your Scotch lock, slide it in. Sometimes you might have to pull up the a little bit. Take your power wire, slide that in on the other side. Like that. Push down a little bit. Crimp it. Fold it. And you're ready to go. So now let's plug everything in and mount the light. Okay, so we've got the switchback wires hooked up to the parking light turn signal bulb. So what we're gonna do, slide this in here and connect that. That one's ready. Then you have your main bulb, which will slide in and click down. And then you have your parking light bulb up here, which will do the same. They all click. So now to remount your light, you just want to line this up to the top corner and push in. Once you've pushed in, it'll lock in. You want to make sure this pin right here is in this groove, and then that's behind this hole. So I'm going to put it all back together in this opposite way that we took it apart, and then we'll be able to check them out. Okay, so it's all back together. You can expect to spend about 10 to 15 minutes per side, which isn't too bad for taking this apart. If you just take your time and remove stuff that'll make it easier for you, then you should be able to achieve this in about 15 minutes per side. So let me close the hood on this and we'll check out the functions.